information was good. He's been through here.
Well, that's something.
It's getting dark. Maybe we should camp here tonight. Come on, let's build a fire ring.
You know, I just wish we hadn't traded our car. That guy would be in town.
Well, that was the only thing he would take, and that guy was the only lead we had. Unless we got some food out of it.
Yeah, well, which we now have to carry ourselves.
Would you rather not eat?
No. I would rather eat, but now it's going to take us twice as long to catch up with him.
Well, that was the only guy that knew where the Men in Black was going. If he wouldn't have given us our information, then we wouldn't have come this far.
Fine. We're going to go find something to make a fire. So who's that?
I don't want to talk about it.
You never want to talk about
That's
it.
right.
You know, we've been traveling together for almost 6 months. And I don't even know the reason why you want to follow the Man in Black. I just know it's some reason. I think it's time you tell me.
I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, well, I want to talk about it.
Well, that's your problem.
Why don't you just tell me who's in the picture?
No.
You know, I thought when I joined up with you that I'd finally have someone to talk to. But we just go on in endless silence. We just stop and ask other people questions. You know, I know it has something to do with that picture. Why don't you just tell me what it is?
Don't want to talk about it. Okay?
Before the war started, I was stationed at a base in the States. That's where I met my fiance. It was one of those true love stories from those you've seen in movies.
I would rather you didn't.
Yeah, well, I would rather I did, so you're gonna have to deal with it, okay? Soon after the war started, I was reassigned to Kuwait. His unit kept winning victory after victory and kept moving north. Of course, I had to stay in South Kuwait since I had to stay in the intelligence and medical units since women aren't allowed in combat. One day, this man emerged from the desert, who appeared to be an American, all dressed in black, saying he had information all about enemy bases and weapons. Of course, they were cautious at first, but then they decided that they needed to go out and follow the coordinates. They sent 5 men out. 4 of them returned. The one that didn't return was my fiance. I never saw his body again. When the survivors came back, they said the Man in Black had disappeared as soon as they were ambushed. You know, I tried to get somebody to do something, but nobody would do anything. And I was denied leave, so I decided to go AWOL. After 2 years of finding information and following leads, avoiding the MP, I wound up meeting you.
Did you set a wedding date?
Well, before the war we had, but then the war started and everything went all to hell.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, me too.
The woman in the picture was my wife.
Your wife? You don't seem the type to get married.
When I was a kid, I always did things by myself. When I got older, I wanted to go after the bad guys. But the methods I preferred were too unorthodox for anything like the police anyway. So I became a bounty hunter. And on one of my hunts, I met a woman who happened to be looking for the same guy. When we ran out of leads, we decided to work together. Shortly thereafter, we became married.
Then what happened?
She had an affair and I killed her.
You killed her?
She had an affair, described the Man in Black, and I killed her.
I can't believe you killed her.
Ever since then, I've been tracking the man in black like there was no end. The more and more I hunted him, the more and more I realized that it wasn't my wife who was weak. The man in black's a deceiver. It's all about deception, and he gets his kicks out of putting people's lives into disarray. From then on, I vowed that I would never, ever leave this world without killing him.
So why'd you decide to team up with me?
When I met you, you described the man in black. Thought you might prove useful.
Much like you met your wife.
It's part of the reason I didn't want to open up to you.
Sorry I didn't know. So how long have you been looking for him?
Huh?
The man in black.
Since before I met you, 4 years.
And the revolver? You always have it with you. You're always cleaning it. You sleep with it under your pillow when you have it.
It was a wedding present for my wife. It is the gun I intend to kill the man in black with.
And what'll happen if you don't find him?
Same thing you'll do. Keep looking. Look, if you don't mind, I'd much rather get some sleep. It's going to be a long, bumpy road ahead of us.
All right, fine. Good night, Jeff.
Night, Chris.